it's Elise here in the children's room at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So for this week, we're going to take a look at some graphic novels. Now, I know there are some of you out there that you love graphic novels. And then there's some others out there that maybe you haven't really explored this genre before. So we're going to take a look at 6 that we have here. I promise you, we have a ton. We have a whole graphic novel section filled with such a wide variety that there is something for everyone. So if you're interested in learning about some of the ones we have, let's dive on in. So the first one we're going to start with is Positively Izzy. So Brianna and Izzy are both in middle school and each have their own things they're kind of struggling with in terms of trying to fit in. Brianna is smart, but she's kind of over being known as the brain, and it gets even worse when her mom is hired to be the new drama teacher at her school, and she's in charge of the talent show, and she is forcing Brianna to be in the talent show, which is the last thing Brianna honestly wants to do, especially since she has this epic case of stage fright. Compare that to Izzy. Izzy really wants to be in the talent show. That's what she lives and breathes for. But on the night of the talent show, when she kind of fails a really important test and her mother decides talent show is off the table, Izzy decides that she's going to sneak out anyways and she is going to get to the talent show. These two storylines come together and they soon find themselves brought together in these unexpected ways. This is one of 4 books that are in this collection, each one focusing on a different friend and friendship that is formed. So we have, again, all 4 of these. This is Positively Izzy by Terry Libinson. Cardboard Kingdom. So in their neighborhood, there are 16 kids that live there. And every summer, out of cardboard, they make the Cardboard Kingdom, along with any costume out of cardboard that they can think of. In the Cardboard Kingdom, they are able to be anyone who they want to be, from a knight to actual superheroes to even sorcerers and evil people. This is filled with short stories and comics featuring a kid in the neighborhood. So there are 16 total ones, each one focusing on one specific kid in the neighborhood. But of course, all their stories end up intertwining and they're in each other's stories and they all kind of, come together in a way that it makes epic sense. There are adventures, there is humor, there is acceptance, there are all sorts of things going on in their lives. You will find a character or a story that you can relate to, and you may even find yourself being in that place right now in your life. Again, it is filled with good versus evil. There's fantasy, there's humor, there is something for everyone. I highly recommend Cardboard Kingdom, and there is a sequel just getting ready to come out. So, the Cardboard Kingdom. Coraline. So, we do have graphic novels that are based on actual, chapter print books. And Coraline is a perfect example of this. This is by Neil Gaiman. So this is a graphic retelling of his fantasy horror classic. So when Coraline discovers a door to her family home that leads to a magical but dangerous parallel world, she is at first super excited. But then things kind of start to get weird and she starts to kind of get a little scared, especially when she realizes that the sinister other mother that lives in this world, who kind of looks like Coraline's real mother, but she isn't. She has these wicked long fingernails and she has these eyes that are actually buttons. She decides that she wants Coraline to stay in this other world, and she wants to replace Coraline's eyes with these buttons because when your eyes are these buttons, you have to stay in this world. Coraline, makes her way back home, but when she gets home, she can't find her father and her mother, and she soon realizes that they are trapped in this world, in a prison behind this hallway mirror. And it's up to her to save them. But in order to save them, that means she has to go back into this world and face the sinister other mother. Even if you've read the chapter book or you've seen the movie, this graphic novel will keep you on the edge of your seat. It brings this whole story to life. Highly recommend it. This is Coraline. The Breakaway. So Faith has never played soccer before. She's entering a new middle school, and she runs into this girl, Amanda, who invites her to play on their soccer team. Faith soon realizes, though, that the team she's on, called the Bloodhounds, they're the C team. They're basically made up of everyone who is horrible at soccer or has never played soccer before, and they lose every single game. They are constantly fighting and feuding with each other, and they have a coach who literally doesn't want to be there. They're just on their cell phone the entire time, practices and games. Every player on the team, though, receives their own chapter in this story that sheds light on why they are the way they are, like what they're dealing with at school, what they're struggling with at home, what type of relationship issues they may be having. And this all comes together as the stories then start to intertwine, and they start to realize how important this team is, as well as the players that are on this team, to one another, and how they need each other. If you like your graphic novels with sports, friendships, and a little bit of girl drama, this one is for you. The Breakaways. Queen of the Sea. So this is kind of a hefty graphic novel, but I do promise it is pretty good. So this historical mystery fantasy graphic novel will keep you guessing. Margaret, who was orphaned when she was very young, lives on this small island and is taken care of by a group of nuns. Those are the only people on the island, her and the nuns. Every 6 months, a ship comes with supplies for them to live off of. One time, though, it not only comes with supplies, but it comes with 2 new people who have been exiled to live on the island. They are Queen Eleanor of Albalon and her young son, and they were sent to this island because they opposed the king. So this is their punishment, to go live on this island. When one of Eleanor's former subjects, though, comes to the island with news, everything Margaret has known or has thought she has known about where she lives and why she is living there, as well as her family history, everything comes into question as things are completely upended. Loosely inspired by true events, this award-winning graphic novel, again, is pretty much amazing, and you will be trying to figure out this mystery right along with Margaret. There is a moment that you're not going to see coming. This is Queen of the Sea. And our last one is Drowned City by Dawn Brown. Again, graphic novels are amazing in that they can be fiction, but they can also be nonfiction. And this is a pretty excellent example of a nonfiction graphic novel. So this is all about the events of Hurricane Katrina on the city of New Orleans, which happened in 2005, but this graphic novel continues through 2012. You will get to experience what the moments of devastations were like, as well as the long-lasting effects that were felt for years to come, some even to this day. Dawn Brown does not sugarcoat what happened, and as well as what could have happened better and the response from the government and its leaders. It does bring hope, though, as you do see the people of New Orleans come together to rebuild their city and to fall in love with it once again. This book is not for the faint of heart. Again, he doesn't sugarcoat things. There are some pretty graphic things that happen, but it is an impactful look at a disaster that happened only 15 years ago, but seems like it should have been so much later in history. This is The Drowned City. So again, these are just 6 of the graphic novels that we have here. I told you at the beginning, I'll tell you again, we have a whole section here. So we do literally have a graphic novel about anything that anyone would like to read. So if you're interested in checking out one of these 6 or exploring that graphic novel section, feel free to come on down and we will help you find that perfect graphic novel that you're looking for. Thanks for tuning in to another middle grade book spotlight. I hope you tune in next week when we have a whole brand new one, and have a great week.